Okay, so it's time for another weekly update. This week was pretty interesting, and I have like a very cool idea, for this video specifically. I'm basically going to show you like a time lapse of me designing a client website and then turning that client website into a template. Now, that's not something that I usually do, but for this client, we had this agreement beforehand because he couldn't really afford like a full website, and he was an old client that I've worked with for a lot of time. So, and it turned out that my schedule for my templates also had to be in the same niche as that client. So we're going to get to that in just a little, but as in every weekly update, I just wanted to share some lessons from this week. And the first one is adapting your design language to the needs of the target audience, which is something very important that I did struggle with last week and the week before that. Because in my yearly plan for all of the templates that I have to release, I had to release info product / coaching template this month. And I started working on it and I was struggling with it for a while. And that's mainly because I didn't use a design language that really spoke to that target audience. You can go back to last week's video and I'm showing the template that I was struggling with designing there. And then I just had like this, not idea, but I just realized that I'm trying to use a design language that's not suitable at all for the target audience that I'm building the template for. And this is why I was stuck. I wanted to design like a high-end enterprise level looking website for an info product business, which kind of doesn't go together. And when I realized that and I adapted my design language to fit the niche and the target audience of the template, the ideas just started flowing. So that's one thing. Like, I know that we as designers, sometimes we want to design a specific look, but it's not always the best option for the target audience of the website. And if you're trying to apply a look from a different industry to, a different target audience, it's most likely not going to work. And the second thing that I wanted to touch on is employee training. So if you've watched the previous videos, you know that I have a web developer who helps me with developing my templates and my client projects. And he's good. Like he can build a website to a good level, but it's not to that next level. It's not at a world-class level that I want to build websites in. And I realized that it's very, very important to properly train the people that work for you or with you if you want to progress. Because if we continue the way that we're doing things right now, what's going to happen most likely is he's not going to improve, he's not going to improve. He's going to send me like a semi-finished version, and then I'm going to spend another day or two kind of finalizing everything and taking it to that next level that I want to take it to. And I have an example for that. So let me just pull up, the example right now. We were working on a website for a client of mine who is, again, an old client. And he wanted to update his website. So I'm going to show you first what my developer did. So let's wait for it to load up. This is what my developer did. And it's, again, with some of my assistance. Not everything is his doing, but I'm just going to scroll through it and you're going to see that it looks all right, but it's just something is not quite right for it to look very good. And I'm going to show you right now what I did after that. I spent like a day optimizing everything and making it look a bit better. And you're going to see it's not a huge difference. It's just like small details that kind of make it look a little bit more premium. Like he did a good enough job already with the design that I sent him. But it needed some of that extra touch to make it look a bit better. And for most of you guys, you might even be looking at this and saying like, this is the exact same website. But if you spend some time looking at it, you're going to notice small differences that just contribute to it looking a little bit better. So yeah, that's the second thing that I wanted to talk about. And now we're going to take a look at something that's pretty interesting, which is like a time lapse that I did of me working on a client project and then turning that client project into a template. So I'm gonna play the speedrun right here, the time lapse. The bad part about this time lapse is that I didn't record me designing the hero section. I had the idea to record it after I had already done the hero, and that was kind of the most interesting part, because I think always like the hero is the most important thing of any website. So you're gonna see basically my work process here. It's very kind of I'm experimenting a lot. I'm trying a lot of different things. But the important thing here is that I'm following the design language that these types of websites need and tend to have. And I'm not trying to apply something different that, for example, I want to design. And in the end, it turned out pretty good. Right now, I'm just designing some intersections. This is how I usually work with my clients. They provide me with like a rough structure in a Google Doc, and then I just take that structure and adapt it into, in this case, a landing page or a full website if it's a full website. But yeah, the thing that kind of elevates this website a little bit is the use of images, because you're gonna see when I show you the full website, it's not anything special. Like the layouts are pretty standard, but what makes it cool is again the small details in different sections in the images. So yeah, right now I'm working on the footer. The footer is pretty standard, like it's only a single landing page, so we don't have much to work with for the footer. So yeah, in here I'm just working on some graphics. Right now I think I'll be working on graphics for these 3 boxes. And that's another thing, like trying to create custom stuff for your graphics instead of using like stock images can really take your designs to the next level, especially for templates, because it just looks like you put in more effort, and it's not something that you just took in 5 minutes and placed it there. If you spend some time creating custom graphics that make sense in the design you're building, it can really go a long way. And yeah, right now I finished the website at this point, and now I'm translating it to a template. I had this old logo for a client that I did like 2 years ago that he rejected. So right here, I'm adapting it to this design. I changed the color to orange. As you can see, I created a few other hero section variants because for this template, I want it to be very extensive. I'm going to have like a few hero section variants. I'm going to have a lot of different pages like webinar pages, webinar sign up pages, thank you pages, VSL pages, and so on and so forth, because I really want it to be a very comprehensive solution for anybody who is selling an info product. So yeah, I'm just going to let it finish right here, and then I'm going to show you the client website design and the homepage design for the template, because I did end up making some changes here and there. So yeah, here for the footer, I'm most likely going to redesign this footer because I don't really like it. But let me just open the designs so you can see everything. So we have Coach Accelerator right here. And let me just open that again. So as you can see, I started with this hero section. The client really liked this hero as an inspiration. So I tried doing something similar at first, then experimented with some other ideas. This one I think is really cool. But I'm most likely going to end up going with this one. His logo, by the way, it's not very good. I'm going to have to talk to him and try to convince him to change it a little bit because it doesn't really fit the design very good, as you can see right here. But yeah, so this is the hero. This is just like a simple long form section, another simple section with like a graphic, another pretty simple section with icon text and a graphic. Who this is for, you don't need. And these are all sections that speak to the target audience. Like every single info product seller is gonna need these types of sections. And this is like a quick overview of the program. This is the deliverables that they will get. This is a more in-depth breakdown of all of the stages of the program. This is the pricing section. I really like this pricing section. I think it turned out very good. This is a section about the founder, simple FAQ, and a footer. And now I'm going to show you how I translated that into a template. Let's just wait for it to load up. So as you can see, I did end up changing quite a lot from the time lapse. Let me open it in a preview mode again. I think that will be better for you to see. So yeah, this is the hero. Then this pretty much not any changes here, not many changes here, not many changes here. It's basically, it's gonna basically use the same structure. I've just added like some pre-headers. It's gonna use the same structure as the client website. It's just gonna be adapted to be a template. And then this section is a little bit different here. It's expandable. And then this is the open variant. This is the closed variant. The pricing, same exact pricing, meet the founder, FAQs, and then the footer I'm most likely going to be redesigning tomorrow. So yeah, I hope this was like a cool thing to see, like a preview into my workflow. I hope it was useful to you guys. Now to move on to what I did this week. So let's see what we had. I was supposed to migrate all of my templates to a different payment provider because I'm facing a lot of issues with Lemon Squeezy, and I wanted to do that to Cream. I ended up migrating all of the products to Cream, but then I realized that it doesn't really work with my setup because it also has bugs. Like when you check out on Cream, it oftentimes gives you an error and doesn't redirect you to the page that I've set it to. So it's not going to be an option. And you're going to see what I'm going to do for my payment processing in a little bit when we get to what's planned for the next week. Then I had to schedule developer interviews. I didn't do that. I think I was just lazy with it. I spent a lot of time working on the Vast website for my other client that I showed you in the beginning. So that was kind of on the back foot, and I'm going to tackle that this upcoming week. I had to rework the Presenta template, which I did. I can show you a little preview of Presenta. What I ended up doing is I just applied the feedback from the reviewer from the Framer team. And I also removed a page. Like I had a page that showcased all of the projects, but it didn't really make sense because you can already see all of the projects on the home page. So I ended up adding an about page. So let's just open that up. I ended up adding this about page. It's nothing too special really, but it works. So yeah, that's what I did. And then this is how the homepage works for the Presenta template. It doesn't look the best on laptop screen, so I'm probably gonna adjust that. But yeah, this is the project section, then the footer. Then we can open up a project for you to see how that would look like. We have like information about the projects, services delivered, some galleries, like in details here with expandable paragraphs, then some more images, and then preview for the next project, which if you click, obviously you're going to go to the next project. Then we have a contact page, which is pretty simple, just a contact form and some contact information in the footer. So it's a pretty simple template. It's nothing too crazy. This is going to be a free template that I'm going to launch. I submitted it right before starting to record this video. So hopefully that can get approved next week. Then I also had to rework my other template Stellar, which I showed last week. I did that. I didn't do many changes. I just applied, the feedback from the Framer review team. Then I had to design Cohort. I showed you where I am with that. I still have to finish it. I have a lot of pages to design, and the plan is to design them next week. Then I had to hand off the website for Vast Media Marketing, which is our first client that I showed you. It's pretty much ready. I'm just waiting for the client to send me some more content for the case studies, and it's going to be ready. And that's pretty much what we had to do this week. So pretty much everything apart from scheduling developer interviews is done. So that's pretty good. And now let's see the plan for next week. So for clients, we have Coaching Accelerator, which is that time lapse that we watched. For templates, Maria, she still hasn't got back to me with her situation. She's having some trouble with accepting payments, so we can't work together until she figures that out. Then I have to finish Cohort for the templates. Goals for the week is to hire a Webflow developer, migrate all of my template checkout to Polar, finish the Cohort template and hand it off for development, and start a new template design. So that's pretty much the plan for the week. I've broken down everything into what I have to do each day here. And hopefully I'm gonna, do all of that next week and we can make some progress. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I hope this video was useful to you guys. If you want to see more videos like this, I'm uploading weekly updates on my business pretty much every week. So yeah, if you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.